In this short video, we'll show you how you can search for jobs in MPro 5. So what we do is we go to the jobs tile, we hit jobs, and then we hit search. You'll get a sidebar pop up here with all the options you can search on. You can search by store. You can also search by service. If you're logged on as a third-party contractor, then you will only see yourself. If you're logged on as an FMA, facilities managing agent, then you'll see all the contractors you look after. And if you're a McColl's member of the team, then you will be able to see everyone. So what we'll do is we'll pick a few stores just for this search. We're not going to pick a service. I want to see all the jobs. We don't use locations. We don't use sub-locations. If you're scheduling jobs to engineers, you can search by mobile user, but in this instance we won't. Create web user we would never use. Job number search. So in any communication sent out by the MPro 5 system, automated alerts will always include the job number. And most people would reference a job number if they're questioning a job. So if you've got your job number, pop it in there. If you know the region, you can search by region too. It's just a two-letter or one letter. You can also search by job type. There'll be various job types in the system you can look at. And you can search by status. So I want to see all my allocated jobs or all my on-site jobs, as an example. It's key to know anything you put in here will be filtered by the from and the to date. And so if you're looking for all your jobs, then the best thing to do is on the from date, hit the month again to January, and then change it to the 1st. And then what that will do is that will search for all the jobs where the dates fall between these two dates here. So we hit apply, and that's returned all the jobs that meet my criteria. There's a couple of other things you can do on this page which are probably key to note. You can remove columns, so if I change this here, I go to columns, and I can start removing columns I don't want to see. So I don't want to see location, don't want to see sub-location. I don't want to see the service because I'm logging on in this instance maybe as a third-party contractor. So I don't want to see me because I know it's me. I want to see everything else aside from the create user and the region. I don't want to see that. See, the columns now have disappeared, and I've got a customized view of what's in front of me. This will save on a user-by-user basis. So if you do this once, you won't have to do it again. But don't forget, if you do want to see a column, you'll need to add it back in. You can also group the view by certain columns. So I can group these by job type. If I drag that column up here, you'll see here now all my jobs are broken down by job type, which is maybe a slightly easier view for me to manage. From here as well, you can also export this grid to Excel. And this works with most grids in MPro 5. Anyway, you see this type of grid, you'll see a little arrow up here pointing to the right. If you hover over that, it will say export to Excel. If I hit that, that will export that data into Excel, and I can send it on by email or do what I need to do with that outside of the system. Another key point here is when you're searching for jobs, you might have different searches you do every day. So you might come in and say, I need to see all my jobs that are awaiting acceptance. And so I would go to my job status and say awaiting contractor acceptance. And then you might want to see all your jobs where they're on site because you might want to chase some engineers up or see where the work is. Now, creating these filters every day would probably be a bit painstaking. So you can actually save filters in MPro 5. So if we take our filters, I've filtered these stores and this one job status. There we go. I can save that by pressing the save button. It's going to ask me what filters do you want to save. I want to save the store filter and I want to save the job status filter. I'm going to say this is new jobs. Hit save. If I come back in here, my new jobs filter is there. So let's say I also want to see open jobs. So that would be accepted and allocated. As an example, I can save that filter now as open jobs. Save. When I come back into the planner, load, I can go show me all my open jobs, load filters, and then hit apply. And what that's going to do is that's going to search, it's going to apply my filters and search all the jobs. So I can now see I've got my allocated jobs. So what we've done in this video is we have shown you how to use the job search. So you can search for particular jobs or a wide-ranging amount of jobs. You can edit the grid as well to a view that you prefer. And again, that's done on a user-by-user basis, so don't think you're changing it for someone else. It's done against your login. What we've also done is shown you how to save filters and reuse them.